Hey, you guys. Y'all already know what's going on based off the title. We are talking about Kenya Moore. It's been a lot of things going on and a lot of buzz surrounding Kenya. So I wanted to talk about what's been said, what's been done, and definitely the shade that she is throwing at Karen Huger. Y'all like the video, subscribe to my channel. Now let's dive in. So y'all already know Kenya's life has changed a lot since she's left Real Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, really, a lot. And also her salary has changed because let's admit, Real Housewives of Atlanta pays really good. And because Kenya was on the show for a long time, she was definitely making over a mil on the show. But needless to say, her life has changed. She's no longer on the show. And she's decided to, make her coins on YouTube and also give herself a platform, which is understandable and smart as a businesswoman and someone that, has a lot going on, and she still has to maintain the spa. Well, we're going to dive into what's going on with the spa after this, but first let's talk about the shade she is throwing at Karen Huger. Kenya brought it onto her YouTube channel and she decided to discuss Karen Huger being in jail and making little jokes about Karen. It was not cute, it was not funny. But she had the nerve to make jokes about Karen in jail, asking if she was basically a top or a bottom. And if you don't know what that means, that's just code for in jail, when you guys have to, when the prisoners kind of use each other for companionship, if you know what I mean. And it's a very insensitive joke, because a lot of men, unfortunately, are, SA'd in jail or prison. And it just wasn't a nice joke. Kenya wasn't. She also made a joke or a reference about Karen being wild because she was born in the 70s, so Karen should know all about that. And she also said that Karen wouldn't survive in jail because Giselle said that at one point and Kenya agreed. And I'm not sure why she's agreeing because clearly Karen survived. I mean, she's out of jail already. So why do you mean, what do you mean she can't survive in jail? And Kenya was saying that Karen would need wigs and stuff every day and, all these different things. But if you don't believe me, you can listen for yourself. I attached a very short, quick clip. Obviously, I had to fast forward it, but you guys can listen really quick.
I'm your girl. So, bottom line, when you went to your jail cell at night, was it bunks that were side by side, or were they double bunks, like top and bottom? Because Karen, I need to know, are you a top or a bottom? What? I'm not trying to be shady. I just want to know, are you a top or a bottom, Karen? You can tell your girl. Wink, wink. I know you lived through the 70s, girl. I know you lived through the 70s.
Yeah, y'all heard that. She even threw in this little photo of Karen edited in jail with the little wig on, and I don't know, it definitely didn't seem nice. If I was Karen, I think I'd be offended, and I'm pretty sure she's not expecting those type of jokes from someone who, she doesn't have a problem with. So that was definitely a bit insensitive, and I think that if Kenya had to go to jail, she wouldn't like it if people were making jokes about her. I don't think so. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, she was just joking. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she even referenced how Karen was, alive back in the 70s, as if that's an age dig. But when I looked up Kenya's birthday, she was born in 1971. So her and Karen were both kids in the 70s. So I don't know. But what do you guys think about that shade? Now let's move on to Kenya's eviction, guys. Kenya Moore is getting I don't want to say she's getting evicted, but she's currently in a whole lawsuit for an eviction. Her landlord over the hair spa is deciding to sue her for failed rent paid. She hasn't been paying her rent. According to court documents, Kenya hasn't paid rent since December last year, 2024 December. And that is crazy, okay? And Kenya is saying that she's not paying her rent because the landlord owes her money for improvements that she's made in the salon. And we do know that Kenya has made beautiful improvements in the salon. It looks gorgeous. It definitely looks modern, but at the same time, I don't know if that means that she shouldn't pay her rent. I think if the landlord owes you money, you should probably take him to court while still paying your rent on time, because now we really don't know how any of this is going to play out. But I'm definitely wishing Kenya good luck, guys, with this mess because, Even though Kenya has done some poor choices on the show, she's still human. She's a mother. And it's very sad to see someone crumble like this. I mean, she said out of her own mouth that she spent her daughter's savings on this salon. And it hasn't been working out so far, unfortunately. It just hasn't. A lot of things were wrong. There were a lot of red flags between her charging, like, I want to say they were saying Kenya was charging about $500 for a silk press. I mean, you're in Atlanta. Anyone can do a silk press in Atlanta, honey. $500 is crazy. They're saying that she's never open. People go up to the salon all the time. And at one point, she was even trying to sell like her old used dresses. So it seems like Kenya's definitely going through it ever since, the unfortunate downfall of no longer being on the show. So we're gonna wish her well, guys. I hope she pays the rent. I hope that um if she's supposed to get paid from the landlord, I hope she gets paid too. Or maybe they can even it out. I really don't know. But how do you guys feel about this? Also, I wanted to throw in really quickly. I've been seeing a bunch of reports that Kenya's husband is allegedly trying to move back in with her, and that Kenya is shutting it down and she's refusing for him to move in with her. Now, I do know for sure that he has moved to Atlanta. Marc has relocated to Atlanta. He's been evicted out of his restaurant business, so he's another one that has faced an eviction in their family dynamic. I know they're supposed to be divorced by now, but they're still like a family somewhat. So Marc has lost his business. Unfortunately, he was evicted from it, and he decided to move from New York to Atlanta and be near his daughter. However, I do not know if it's true that he's trying to move in with Kenya. That's just like fake tea that has been going around. It has not been confirmed or any sources. So that's why I haven't been speaking on that. But I will say, if Kenya is smart, she better not let that man move in, okay? Because all it takes is for someone, and y'all please take note in case y'all have a man or a family member, anybody trying to stay with you. Guys, if someone is getting mail at your home, you cannot kick them out after they try you, get into an argument with you, a fight. You will have to legally evict them. And it's bad enough that Marc tried to take her house from her, and he knows darn well he didn't help her get that house, and he was trying to take money from her in alimony. So I really hope that Kenya does not let that man move in with her. I hope that everything is just certainly not true. And, he has definitely moved to Atlanta, but I hope that he's not in her house. But y'all take care, and definitely subscribe to my channel, like my videos. I will be dropping more soon, but in the meantime, stay subscribed, because you'll be able to see what other videos that I produce. And I've also made some recent ones in case you haven't seen them yet. Bye.